स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ वर्स नंबर 19। इदं सर्वं पुरा सृष्टेः एकमेवाद्वितीयकं सदेवासिन्नामरूपे नास्तामित्यारुणेर्वचः। So we are discussing a Chandogya Vakya, very famous Vakya, Sadeva Soma Idamagra Asit Ekameva Dvitiyam. That Vakya has been discussed, in which the Brahman or Atma or the Sat has been narrated as Jagat Karanam, as all pervasive. Jagat Karanam is equal to all pervasive, all pervasiveness. That is what it is, and that is because Upanishad is interested in describing Jagat Karanam as a material cause. Brahman is Jagat Karanam. The word Brahman indicates it is material cause, because Brahman means all pervading. Then efficient cause cannot pervade. Only material pervades, and therefore definitely Brahman, which is called Sat in Chandogya, well, that is Jagat Karan, that is all pervasive. If it is all pervasive, it includes me, and therefore it is going to say later in the same section, Tattvamasi. So you are that Jagat Karanam. Sat is a Jagat Karanam, and then whole creation has been described, and then later Uddalaka told to Shvetaketu that Sat is nothing other than you. So Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. So Sadeva Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. That is Atma. That is Atma means it is very simple. I mean, it is just a common sense that if it is pervading, all pervading, means it pervades me. Pervades me means not that my body is pervaded like with a shawl. It is not that. All pervading means basically everything here is Sat. The consciousness is Sat, the body is Sat, and all the three bodies are Sat, and then Chidabhasa is Sat. Everything is Sat. That is called all pervasiveness. So, which pervades every other than Sat, there is nothing else. But how do you say there is nothing else? Sadeva Some Idamagra Asit Ekam Eva Advitiyam. Ekam Eva Advitiyam. There is nothing other than the Sat. Sat Eva. There is only Sat. Nothing else. Means there is nothing other than that Brahman or Paramatma. There is no Jiva. Jiva's existence is based on ignorance. There is no existence of Jiva other than the existence of ignorance. Ignorance is not there, Jivatvam goes away. With ignorance it stays. And what is based on ignorance, well, definitely it doesn't have a reality at all. What is based on ignorance cannot have any reality. Anyway, so idam sarvam pura srushtehe ekam eva advitiyakam. Srushtehe pura. Before the creation, well, ekam eva advitiyakam. So it is this Sat alone was there before the creation. Sadeva asit, it was there like this. And the evakara is, we have discussed yesterday, the evakara is used for basically exclusion. For exclusion, they are using this evakara. So, and what has been excluded? So, well, Nam Rupena Astam, they are going to discuss later, Vidyaranya is going to discuss that Srishti is nothing but an appearance of name and form. That's all that Srishti is ultimately. And so before creation, Sat alone was there. Means what should not have been there? Nama Rupa should not be there. That's all. So these Nama Rupas were not there. And so by that what they want to convey is that right now also there are really no Nama Rupa. Before creation, Sat alone was there. That alone appeared as a creation. Well, we can have, what is added into the Sat so that we can call it as a creation. Sat plus Nama Rupa is equal to creation. And then Sat plus Nama Rupa is equal to creation. Then this Nama Rupa, has not added anything. So right now also it is Sat. This is what the material cause is. Material cause is one in which there is a difference of status, not the difference of a essence. There is no difference in essence. Like what is the difference between clay and pot? So difference in status, clay in a different form, different appearance. That is what the pot is, right? And therefore, essentially, clay and pot is the one thing. Same, that is what they want to convey. So everything was Sat alone. And so that's how Vidyaranya says, Nama Rupe na astam. So this existence Sat was there without any association with name and form. So right now also it is Sat? Yeah, right now also it is Sat. Then why are you taking us to the before creation? There is no need. Right now also say, yeah, everything is Sat. No, but the Sat is associated with name and form. And therefore, basically, when existence is associated with this, as though it has become impure, you cannot experience or perceive pure existence right now. So we will have to take you before creation, before the name and form appear. We will have to take you there so that you can understand that pure existence was there before the creation, and right now it is pure existence. Only thing is, in your understanding, Nama Rupa is a Sat. In your understanding, Nama Rupa is a truth. That is why we have to take you that the Sadeva Satyam. That's a very beautiful section. Sadeva Satyam. That Sat alone was Satyam. Or Sat alone is Satyam right now. So you are telling Nama Rupa is Satyam. No. And yesterday I told you, at the end of the talk I said you that Nama Rupa alone is Satyam in our mind. Ignorance does this job. What is Mithya will definitely appear for you as a Sat. That is how the dream is. See, when the waker is under the spell of ignorance, when waker is not known, when person sleeps, right? Waker is not awake to himself. And there is a veiling, there is ignorance. Then he definitely creates that dream world. Varieties of the names and forms are created, right? And that is one thing. Under the ignorance, you create varieties of the names and forms, that is one thing. But the entire dream world was real also. Names and forms were real. Yeah. Unless you again wake up, till then you feel that that's a reality. So this is how it is. So due to Maya, everything, all names and forms appear. That's okay. Instead of ignorance, at the level of Samashti, we say Maya. So, the Brahman alone appears due to Maya in varieties of the names and forms. That is one thing. But names and forms is the reality for us. In short, universe is a reality. Jagat is Satyam for us. And that is how all our reactions are based on. And the suffering also is based on the reality of the name and form. And I give you several examples. Like a person, a woman goes to a sari store, and a lot of saris are there. So material will be at the end, I tell you. Which material is there of the sari, that is at the end. First you will look into all varieties of the designs and colors and all those things. And lastly, before buying, you will check the material. That is how the things are. So this is the idea. So all we are engrossed into all our likes and dislikes, everything are for the names and forms, because that's a reality for us under the spell of ignorance, and therefore basically that is how we will have to take you a state where all these things were not there, all these names and forms were not there, and but of course you cannot. And second thing is, with all the names and forms, since you consider names and forms as a reality, the real reality, I mean the existence, the Sat does not appear real to you, and therefore definitely Upanishad talks about the creation. What was the thing before the creation? What was the thing? And we can understand even the pure existence means, which is Brahman, of course, and it pervades the creation. But basically, without name and form, you cannot perceive pure existence. Like light, light is pervading everything in this room. But you can see the light only where a particular name and form is there. Otherwise, you cannot see. Like you are able to see this object, and definitely light is falling on it. And light is falling on it, getting reflected. So light is as to associated with every name and form. So you are able to see light here, you are able to see light in my hand, you are able to see light in the pen. But in between hand and this also there is a light. Right? But you are not able to see. You are not, because light does not just fall on the particular name and form. Light pervades everything in the room. But you are able to see the light only in a given name and form. So same way pure existence means that is Brahman, which is pervading, it's all pervading. So it is pervading entire creation. But as though existence, when it is associated with name and form, you are able to tell. And that is how you are saying. Pan-ease, you are saying. That easiness is Brahman. That is Parameshvara. And name and form is that Maya. That's all it is. Anyway, but so existence, when it is associated with a name and form, you are able to appreciate. Otherwise, you are not able to appreciate. So to have an idea of a pure existence, etc. And pure existence idea is essential in as much as names and forms are mithya. And that is to make us understand, well, Shruti takes us to a state where all these names and forms were not there, means before the creation. So Sat Eva, that Evakara, which has been used in the mantra of the Chandogya Upanishad, is meant for this purpose, to exclude names and forms. And why to exclude names and forms? That also I have told you, because you are not able to appreciate that Sat as a Brahman, as all pervading, because in the creation, Sat, that existence, is all the time associated with a given name and form. And when it is associated with a given name and form, it is always limited. Existence is limited. And therefore, definitely, that is why, Shruti takes us to the state where there are no names and forms. So, iti arunehe vachaha, well, Uddalaka Aruni, that is, Aruni means that Uddalaka only told to his son, Shvetaketu, while teaching this Brahma Vidya. Now, let's go ahead. Vrukshasya svagato bhedah patra pushpa phaladibihi vrukshantarat sajatiyah vijatiyah shiladitah. Now, in the mantra, Sad Eva we have seen. Sadeva Somya we have to drop it. Sadeva Somya idam agra asit. Idam we have seen. Universe. Agre. Srushtehe Prak. Before the creation. The Sat was, this universe was Sat alone. That much part we have understood now. What is universe? That also we have seen, which is perceptible through organs of action, sense organs, and through witness perception, and then through Anumana Pramanam, the existence we prove, or through Shastra, well, varieties of the Lokas and Devatas and Punyam and Papam, all is part of universe. Everything is proven ultimately. That is universe. That has been indicated by the word Idam in the mantra of the Chandogya. Sadeva Somedam Agrasit. Now what is left over in the mantra is Ekam Eva Advitiyam. Ekam Eva Advitiyam. That is, this Sat is the only one without a second. Advitiyam, without a second. Sat Eva. So Sat is only one. Eva means only. Sat is only one without a second, or Sat is without the second. And this is the meaning of Ekam Eva Advitiyam. So Sat only is there without any other thing. Means there are no bhedas. That's what we want to convey. There are no differences. Now when the word differences will bring into three types of differences. And Vidyaranya explains in this verse number 20, first, these three types of differences, first, with the example. And then he will go to the word Sat and will say, see, the Sat also does not have any kind of a differences. And that is how Sat is Ekam Eva Dvitiyam, Sat is one without the second. That is how, this is the line of thinking or discussion here. So, Vrukshasya Svagato Bhedah. Okay, first Ekam Eva Advitiyam. So, this word, well, definitely negates these three types of differences. And that is, first is the Svagata Bheda, second is the Sajatiya Bheda, and third is the Vijatiya Bheda. Now, Svagata Bheda, well, in Sanskritam, the Vyutpatti is like this. Swasmin ekasmin vastuni vartamanaha bedaha Svagata Bedaha. Swasmin ekasmin vastuni. Well, this, in a given one thing, in a given one object, there are internal differences. Every object has differences. Why? Because every object is made up of components. So varieties are there in component. So even like this one mobile. So when you say difference, well, this is different. Then you will say, Swamiji, from what? You expect from me a second object. This is different from this. But that's a later part. First take this one object. It has internal differences in terms of varieties of the components. Several components are there. I don't know a single name of a thing like this. There are so many components in this. So many. So even though, and that is how Pujya Swami used to tell, a given one thing is never one. Never one. Whatever you say, Swamiji, one alone, no. One thing is ekam anekam. That's how he used to tell. Or any given one thing, given one body, several components, several avayavas, several limbs. A computer, one. Several components. A printer, several components. A wire, wire, several components, single wire. Single atom, several components. A single, molecule, several components. So many. Even they are going ahead and ahead. In the particle also they will find that there are components. Anyway, what I am saying is a given one thing is not one. It has several components. So we can say a given object has certain internal differences. That's what we want to say. Those internal differences are called Svagata Bheda. Swasmin ekasmin vastuni praptah. Gataha is equal to praptah. Bhedaha Svagata Bheda. And you can take any example starting from the body, from the camera, from the tree, any given thing you take. And that is, and here he takes an example of a tree. Vrukshasya. Svagataha Bheda. Vrukshasya. Whenever the sixth case come, you have to translate it as a has. Vrukshasya is equal to the tree has. Vrukshasya means you write off the tree. It's the same thing. Off the tree is equal to the tree has. The tree has Svagata Bhedaha. Tree has internal differences. In what form? Patra, Pushpa, Phaladibihi. A given tree, well, it is different. Well, it has several internal parts, and each part is different from the other. There are flowers, different from the fruits, and then there is a bark, and there is a trunk, and there are roots, and there are leaves, and there are branches. Well, each one is different from the other, and that is even all these varieties of the parts available in a given one thing, that is tree. So we can say the tree has a Svagata Bheda. Tree has internal differences. That's the first type of Bheda. Second one is Sajatiya Bheda. That also he says Vrukshantarat Sajatiya. Simple. Vrukshantaram. Anyaha Vrukshaha Vrukshantaram. A tree has a difference from the other tree. or let's say a tree is different, one tree is different from the other tree. Naturally, you are able to count two trees, itself shows both are different. You cannot count otherwise if you don't see the difference. Whatever it may be. One mango tree is different from other mango tree you can take. Or one mango tree is different from a coconut tree, whatever. Ultimately, sajatiya are there. But what is sajatiya? You should see. Sajatiya means samana jatihi yayoho tau padarthau sajatiyau, which has a samana jatihi. The difference between, samana jati means the same species. And yet they are different, right? So the differences between two members of the same class, of the same species, that difference is called sajatiya veda. Sajatiyoho padarthayoho vedaha sajatiya veda. So the mango tree is different. One mango tree has internal differences, that is swagata veda. That one mango tree has a difference from another mango tree is called sajatiya veda. Both have same jati, same species, tree. Treeness is a species, treeness is a class. So this is how, between you and me, the difference. So that difference between one man and the other man, one human being and another human being, that is a sajatiya veda. Because the species is the same, class is the same, that is human race. Then the third one is a vijatiya veda. Vilakshana or vibhinna. Jatihi yayoho tau padarthau vijatiyau. Vilakshana jatihi, different species. Vibhinna. V stands for vilakshana or vibhinna. In vijatiya, the word V, the part V stands for vilakshana or vibhinna. So the external differences between two things belong to different species. So internal difference will be swagata veda, and sajatiya and vijatiya veda are external differences, definitely. And in that, this vijatiya veda is the differences between two objects, two beings belonging to different species. When the difference is between two objects belonging to the same species, sajatiya. Difference between two objects belonging to the different species is vilakshana. So vijatiya. Like a tiger and a cow and etc. etc. A computer and me. Like the difference between me and computer is a vijatiya veda. So these are the three types of veda. Upanishad says this sat is ekam eva advitiyam. So Upanishad wants to clearly say this sat or Brahman or Atma has no veda. Atma does not have any internal difference. He will explain that. Atma does not have any internal difference. Atma does not have any difference other than itself. Of the same class. There is another Atma. You are also Atma and there is another Atma. And the difference between the two. Like one mango tree and another mango tree. No. So there is not such kind of a difference. And the third thing is Vijatiya. Atma and Anatma. There are two differences. So, that is how it is. Atma and Anatma. But Swamiji, there are two things. No. There are no, we will see that. There are no difference like that, Atma and Anatma. Everything is Atma. That is what they want to convey. Sadeva somedamagra asit ekameva dvitiyam. Whole thing was Sat alone and right now therefore it is Sat. This thing was Sat. Well, all these parts were, before they got created, was clay alone. Means right now what? Clay alone.